Hey, everybody, Kevin Harned with you. Hope you're having a good day. We are here, and we've got a lot to get to. We're going to be talking about what's happening in the forecast for tonight, which is a small snow chance. And in addition to that, we've got some bitterly cold air coming back in. So I see a lot of folks jumping in, and I just want to say hello. I saw Molly jump on first. She was saying, make it stop. Molly, good friend from Bardstown. Hope everything is good down that way. And I did see, I mentioned to the newsroom, by the way, the students at Bethlehem High School down there had a chance to meet the Pope. So hopefully we hear more about that on the news in the next day or so. Some folks jumping in, everybody's saying hello. Barry says right back at you from Harrodsburg, where it's cold with ice and snow. Yes, same. And here's Nathan. Hey, Kevin, eating popcorn and watching this great combo. JCPS has been out from the school building for the whole week. Yeah, you know, what a week it's been. I know it's a little different in this day and age where you're having to, do NTI, but that's still not bad. You know, you can have a little fun and it's get a little schoolwork done at the same time. Doesn't push you all the way, so far back into the summer, right? Where you're like, oh man, I wish we didn't have that school day. That sort of hosed us. No, at least you can get, part of the school work in. All right, I'm just getting one final computer set here so I can see your comments. So bear with me just a second. Let me pop up your comments beside me so I can read those. I see them now, so that'll be good. All right. Well, let's just dive into it. I want to just mention, first of all, that we do have alert days out because of the potential for some of that snow. It's going to be very, very light. And for most people, you're not even going to see it or notice it. So with that, it's just not that big of a deal. So I want to talk snow first. Let me bring up my graphics here. We are currently sitting at the 30th snowiest winter on record. That's at 17.1 inches. The question is, could we make it into the top 10? Well, there's still a decent amount of winter left, right? And when you look at 10th place, it's 23.7. So technically, we just need 6.5 inches of snow, and that would bump us into the top 10 of the snowiest winters on record. So we'll see how that works out. I wouldn't rule it out. I'm not saying there's any big snow in the forecast, but there are some smaller ones. But I suspect that we've got all the way through February, and sometimes we get snow into March, of course. We'll see how that plays out, but it's not, I wouldn't count it out just yet, all right? Regardless, the 30th place is impressive enough, right? If you are looking for more snow, raise your hand. Let me see it. If you're the snow weather fans, type 1. If you prefer no more snow, just type 2. And I'm talking to the people that are watching us on our social streams. Some folks on the app are like, well, what do you mean? I can't type 1, type 2. I'm on my phone. Now, this is for people that are watching on Twitch or X or Facebook, YouTube. You guys can chime in. We see your comments. We see where you are. I see a lot. Okay. All right. So people are over it. I'm seeing a lot. Terry's like, no, I'm just going to put no, no, no. All right. And there's Stephanie with a 1. That was for snow, weather geek, no more snow. Here's Carla, snow, Linda, snow. We've got a number of folks, 2, meaning no snow. Dion, no snow. Lauren, no snow. Snow back to Ryan. Greg says snow. Elisha or Elisha, I'm not sure. My dad's name was Elisha, but I assume that's Elisha. 1, meaning snow. All right. Well, I see you. And that's the thing. We have no control. Some people are like, no, 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 no. No more snow, please. All right. Well, I've got the snow chances. We're over it. More over the cold than anything. Yeah, I hear that too. I say if it's going to be cold, it might as well snow, but I'd prefer it to be about 75. Oh, well. See, we don't control it. For those people out there that think we control it, we don't. Otherwise, it'd be sunny and 75 in my book. We do have a few light snow chances. You'll see one of those come our way tomorrow morning at shaded red. It is an alert day. Why? Not because it's so impressive that it's like, oh, well, Kevin said it was going to be tragic on the roads. No, but with the cold temperatures we have, I suspect we could wind up seeing a few slick spots, especially south of us. I'll get to the radar in a second. Flurry chance on Monday, light snow chance again Tuesday into Wednesday, and then again Friday. That's the 6th, okay? So all of a sudden we're in February. It's like, man, rolling right along. Before you know it, we'll be talking Derby time. All right. Let's get to the maps. Upcoming snow chances we mentioned. This just gives a graphic representation. Nothing major, but a 40% chance tomorrow. That's late tonight, early tomorrow. And then we have the 30% chance on Saturday. Those would be some light snow showers moving through. Not much in the way of snow chances Sunday, but we're still below freezing. And then Monday comes in with a little blip that shows up on the radar. Okay, so those are our upcoming snow chances, and I want to dive into the one that I think may cause the biggest issue, at least in the short term, and that's for tomorrow. And this is for our Friday morning. 2 a.m. to 10 a.m. is the time we put on the alert day for Friday. Light accumulation of snow. I don't even know if we have to worry about it here in Louisville. It's mainly areas to our south, and you're going to see why in just a second. But this could cause a few slick spots. Everybody's below freezing. This could be a little problematic for area roads. Again, not a guarantee for everybody. I think it's very minor. On a scale, if I had to put it on a 1 to 10 scale of how minor it would be, I'd say minor is a 2, but could be impactful. That just means just because it's not going to affect a ton of people doesn't mean there won't be high impact by it, right? Okay. I hope that makes sense. And then Saturday, 10 a.m., Saturday morning, up until about 10 or 11 in the morning, we have cold air that's going to be in place. We're talking single-digit lows, wind chills below 0 early Saturday. And for that reason, we have the alert day out for Saturday. All right. Temperatures currently are running at 27 degrees. We made it upper 20s today. We're still holding that number. There hasn't been a lot of wind, so our wind chills haven't been all that cold. I mean, they're cold enough, right? But they're not too far from the temperature. We just don't have a ton of wind. A 20-degree temperature at this point for the wind chill. Some areas to our north are in the teens. Covington is the coldest at 10. Pretty dry air in place. Dew points have been low. In fact, they've been in the single digits for much of the day. So whatever is showing up on the radar, probably getting gobbled up by the dry air. So to see the radar imagery and the particles of snow or rain or whatever we might be talking about, in this instance, it's snow, reach the ground, we have to have a saturated column of air. And it sometimes takes a little bit of time to do that. And that simply means we have virga, that is precipitation that falls, that evaporates as it saturates the column. And it doesn't always reach the ground. So some of these are false echoes returning back, not reaching the ground just yet. So I'd be curious. Places like Jasper would be the best to look at this. You likely could start to see some of those snowflakes fly in your area first as saturation begins, and that could begin within the next hour if it hasn't already. So it would start minor with some flurries and then increase just to some light snow. So that's what we're looking at on the current radar view. And if I were to put on the composite, and bear with me, I'm just going to put that on so you can kind of see what that looks like. Maybe I am. There it is. So you can kind of see a wider, sort of less detail, but more in terms of the reflectivity, where that snow potential would be, stretching across Indiana, southwest Indiana, and then eventually sinking into Kentucky. So that's the area of concern that we would have for the potential snow. That's it. That's what's on the radar. It's already there. It's a matter of saturating the atmosphere and seeing that sort of drift to the south. At this point, the greatest potential for any accumulating snow for tonight would be just to our south, and it would be minor, up to an inch, likely less than that. Now, I've taken the radar over to the Carolinas and Virginia because impressive by the weekend will be the next system that takes the headlines in the weather world. And this happens to be another major winter storm that will develop. Now, it's far eastern Kentucky will be in on this, but not us here in Louisville. Certainly we'll be in on the cold side of it, but not the precipitation. And we're talking about a massive winter storm. This could be wild for places like Myrtle Beach down to Charleston. Impressive with both snow and a mix of precipitation, but mainly snow. And you already see that they have the winter storm warnings out for the higher elevations and winter storm watches all the way up to the coast. So that'll be fun to kind of keep an eye on as we roll through our Friday and into Saturday as the snow spreads across the far east coast. All right, well, back here closer to home, you're going to see that we don't have a whole lot on the radar now. And I suspect that as we go through the next few hours, we're still not going to have a whole lot on the radar. Futurecast shows that, and you can see we wind up with just a few of these light rain showers spreading across. I'm sorry, I said rain. Light snow showers spreading across. Those sink to the south, and that's where we could start to see that minor accumulation. This would be 4, 5, 6, 7 a.m., mainly south of Louisville, toward the parkways, and then eventually sinking into our southern communities around that 8, 9, 10 o'clock time frame, and then moving out of the area, but staying on the very cold side. So how much? Not much. In fact, you can see the dusting south of Louisville gets into that darker sort of contour. That's where we could see up to, but certainly less than an inch. And then if you were to look far eastern Kentucky, you can see that lighter blue, 1 to 2 inches of snow there. But that's well away from us, not in our viewing area. For us, very minor. Across any of our Indiana counties, probably nothing. I mean, if we were to see that, it might be now in parts of Du Bois County, Perry County, Crawford County. That's it. That sinks to the south. You get a light coating of snow in parts of central Kentucky. That's about it, but it's enough to cause problems, and that's the reason for the alert day. We'll see if it pans out. So our Friday snow chance really confined to only that 30 to 40% chance. There's a higher chance it doesn't happen. This doesn't affect everybody, and it happens during the early morning hours. So as we roll into the morning rush and then just beyond. And then the snow chance drifts away only to flurries in the afternoon. Again, not a major deal, but if it's happening in your backyard, it's going to be major enough, right? Because the slick spots will develop. Let's talk about the second part of this, and this takes us into the weekend. This is where we have the cold air. And because it is so cold, the Weather Service again has flagged that with a cold weather advisory for early Saturday. Morning temperatures on Saturday will be in the single digits everywhere. Below zero with that heavier snowpack to the north, places like Seymour, North Vernon, Cincinnati, maybe even Madison or Salem. That said, that's just the actual ambient air temperature. Factor in the wind that will be with us, and that takes our wind chill below zero in most places. -2 to 4 here in Louisville, -6 to 10, places like Salem, Seymour, North Vernon, up towards Cincinnati. So if you're headed out early Saturday, just make sure you bundle up, take precautions. Don't forget the pets. I feel like we have to remind everybody of that. And then even on Saturday afternoon, temperatures may ease up just a bit. When I say that, we're going to stay in the teens. Our high, like 16 degrees on Saturday. That said, there are going to be a few snow showers squeezed out of this as well. That's where Mother Nature is efficient. If you can cool the atmosphere down enough, it doesn't take much to at least squeeze out some of those fine ice crystals or snowflakes. And I think we could see that Saturday afternoon, gradually easing into the evening hours. If we clear out at all late Saturday and early Sunday, there are some hints that the clouds will break just a bit. We're going to be looking at another very cold morning on Sunday morning. That said, Saturday's snowfall potential is minor at best, and that too would fall in that dusting category. Not a ton of snow expected as we look ahead to either Friday morning or Saturday afternoon. All right, so that's where we stand now. That is a look at both the snow side and the cold side of what's to come. I do have the 10-day I'll share with you coming up in just a second. Let's see if we can answer just a few questions. Let me just put the radar up beside us while we chat. Let's do it. All right. Oh, that's the future cast. Here comes the radar. And it's hopefully melting in your backyard. I know there have been a lot of places that have just been socked in, because what happens is the plows and the people, everybody out on it, if it didn't get attended to right away, then it's crushed. And that becomes just a sheet of ice that even the scrapers cannot pick up. Snow plows definitely can't, but even the graders have a tough time with that. I'll just leave that radar up. Okay, let's take a few questions here. I'm going to scroll back up. I'm still in the ones and twos. And for folks just tuning in, I said 1 if you wanted more snow, 2 if you did not. And we've got I'd say it's about 50-50. Rusty's like, yeah, I'm not even going to entertain either one of those. How about just going with 90 degrees? Okay, I'll go with that too. I'm not even a fan of the heat, but at this point, bring it on. Maybe it's better than where we're at, right? All right, here's and again, some folks chiming in from all of our social platforms. I can only handle one more system, Kev. Yeah, I'm with you. I think I have one more in me too. I mean, if it's going to be cold, just bring it on. I was looking at the long range guidance. The GFS wants to spill out a little more snow in here around the middle part of the month. The Euro model's not quite onto that yet. I mean, minor, but nothing like the GFS, the American model. We'll see how it pans out. We're not even to February yet. Close, but we're not there. All right, Sue Ann, no more snow, ready for spring. Okay. Everybody's people are sensitive about all this. Go to the grocery in my shoes. They're like, what? Just get your groceries, people. I don't control the weather. It's a lot of fun. Here we go. Anybody that wants more snow, this is Weather Geeks. Come to my house. Pick up some from my driveway. It's for free. Yeah, keep it. Put it in the freezer till next time. When you want it, just dump it out, right? I'm kind of along those lines. It was heavy snow too, And I think because I have gotten older, like I cracked the 50-degree or 50. I can't even think. That's where my mind is. It's like mush. The 50-year mark, I'm like, I think I feel it in my back. Like I might need to brush up on exercise. Shouldn't be down at my back for shoveling a little bit of snow and sleet, right? Anyway, Renee Robert. Oh, it was on. It's off. It's back on. Renee says no more snow, and I see that nice sunny climate you're in there, Renee. What do you say you go back there? That would be nice, right? The sunshine, the water, maybe down to Florida. Sounds good. Or the Caribbean. That sounds good too. All right, let's see. Most people are just like, hey, I don't want any more snow. Please, no more snow. Sit me on the equator. Lauren's like, I'll be happy there. Yeah, I'll meet you there. It's cold when the thermometers turn blue. Yeah, exactly. I know I like the snow, but I'm over it. And the birds are eating out of my house. Yeah, good point on that. We always see that when we snow it in or certainly ice things in. And I was reading a report from the Department of Wildlife earlier. Interesting thing, though, first of all, we think of the birds because we see them and they're out looking for food. So that's why it's important to feed them, which is what, I'm sorry, I forgot who said that comment. Janice was alluding to. But here's the deal. They can't find it. If the water sources are frozen and the food sources, the ground for birds, frozen, boy, that makes it tough. And all animals are in a predicament because it's been cold so long. I mean, we're talking 160 plus hours, consecutive hours below freezing, and we're just probably at the midway point. And that's if we hit the freezing mark next Friday. So by that point, we'd be, 320 hours in or something like that of below freezing temperatures in a row. That's impressive. So don't forget the animals. And what the report was saying was that some of the species like wild white-tailed deer, other things that would be preyed upon by other animals in particular, might get taken down and have less ability to live or survive because of the weather. One, because it's going to make other animals hungrier and more desperate, and because of starvation in some cases. I thought that was fascinating. So sad kind of, but fascinating. It's not something you sit around thinking about all day, right? Like, oh, I wonder if the deer population is dwindling today. No, I don't think of that daily, but today I was like, well, that's interesting. I bet it's true. Well, thanks, Angela. Angela's just saying thank you for all you do. Well, appreciate that. We couldn't do it without you. If you all didn't watch, we would be probably the ones out shoveling the snow. And some people probably think that's where we should be. They're like, yeah, you do better at that. All right. 75 sounds great. I'm with you on that, Margaret. Thank you. School on Monday. Oh, surely people will be able to get back by Monday, don't you think? There is a small chance of a few snow showers on Monday, but by that point, it's like, hey, how long are we going to hold out? Yeah, it's going to be cold all next week, but not as cold. But we have our moments in there. Kristen's just saying, thanks for jumping in and informing us. You bet. Here's Robin. Thank you for watching, Robin. We appreciate that. Nathan's like, I want the temp below freezing. Okay. Well, your wish is our command. Just do the little genie dance there and boom, you've got it for the next week at least. Hello from Madison. Beautiful Madison, Indiana. It's a beautiful area. Fern Creek checking in. There's Litchfield and Becca. Ruth Ann was in Fern Creek. I'm just scrolling through some of your comments. And I love the fact that you all have gotten to know each other in some of the comments. So now you're having conversations on your own. Not that that makes it easy for us, but I do like the way you all communicate with each other. My husband just got us dug out. So I'm telling him what's coming. Not telling him what's coming tomorrow. Yeah. Better just keep that quiet until it happens. Might be best. All right. What's the system that shows a mix next Wednesday time frame? I'll show you that in a second. I'll get to the 10-day here in just a second. I've got to load that up. That's a more intense graphic, so I'll load that up for you in just a second. There's Andre saying hello. He's a big weather fanatic. I like Andre and appreciate all his comments there. That's right. We've got Groundhog Day. Gene's like, any chance the old groundhog will see his shadow? I don't know. Old Punxsutawney, he doesn't have a good track record, but at this point, we'll probably take any piece of folklore we can get, anything that gives us hope at this point, right? It's like, oh, the groundhog said spring's around the corner. We're going with that. Yes. We'll will it on, Marcia's, I'm tired of shoveling it. Yeah. I know. I've been out because I like to piddle outside. I don't like to just sit around. So, and I have a snowblower that is this wide, but it's come in handy the last couple of years. I'll tell you that. And where they sort of went through with the street plow, it piled up pretty good height. And so to roll over that, it's like you either have to floor it or dig it out. I've done both. So, but I was like, I'm gonna get that little snowplow out and try to chunk away at it, which I did. And I was impressed. I was like, this little thing worked well. And even with the sleet mixed in, because sometimes if it's a heavy, wet snow, it's constantly clogged up. And that's never good. That just makes it frustrating. All right. Marsh is like, snow, thank you. Stephanie's like, you probably look like a celebrity. Yeah, I wouldn't go as far as a celebrity, but I think people are just always like, uh-oh. First of all, why is he in the grocery store? And there must be snow on the way. Or do something about it. And I was like, all right. Well, I wish I could. Wouldn't that be nice? See, Nathan's not giving up. We get it. Nathan wants the cold. He's like typing in all caps now. We want the snow. We love the cold. All right, have at it. What is your forecast for February 14th? Lori's asking. Well, that's a little bit far away. I did look at the long range, and that is where we start to see some divergence in the models. That's where we may wind up with a little more snow. It's way too early to tell. Who knows? But it's fun to watch the models, especially when we're in this type of pattern where it's more cold than not. I'll take the snow over ice and sleet. Yeah, probably so. Though the sleet's not too bad. The sleet comes into a problem when it gets packed down, and now it's like, oh man, I can't get this stuff off the roads. So it's like, well, we need a little bit of warmth. And unless we're starting to see warmer temperatures, the upper 20s help with sunshine, which we have at least had a couple of days. So that's really helped. Had we been in the teens through this whole period, oh man, the roads would be a complete disaster. Some of them still are, especially shaded ones, but they'd be even worse. Cameron, everybody's looking at the long range models. That's when I know you're weather geeks. You're like, what's about the 14th? Yeah, see, I know you've already seen it. These are loaded questions. So maybe Mother Nature will give a good gift for loved ones on the 14th. We'll see how that works out. It's hey, I think anything is possible. Anytime you get 2+ weeks out in the long range models, especially on the precip side, temperatures, yeah, we get trends pretty good on those. Precip, oh man, it comes, it goes. We're not honed in on that at all, especially when the models are in total disagreement, the long range models. Do you see low 40s by Super Bowl weekend? Well, I see 30s at this point. So I don't have 40s in our Super Bowl weekend forecast, but we do have the 30s, and it is much warmer out in Santa Clara. And I'll show you the Super Bowl forecast coming up when I load the 10-day. The squirrels taking over the bird feeder, and the birds aren't happy. Yeah, it's survival of the fittest looking for the food at this point. That's why it's always good just to toss a little bit of bird feed out if you can. Feed the birds. All right, I'm just going through some of your, here we go. I was talking about the deer population, biggest threat on my road of cars because they just stand there 24. Yeah, they're not even scared of you anymore, right? Mine don't just stand there, though. They jump in front of you, and that's where it's problematic. It's like, oh, shoot. I'm going to have to get a new front fender. Or slow down. Maybe I should give myself some advice. All right, here's Courtney with the over-under. School on Monday, not going to happen. I don't see a lot melting because it's going to be cold tomorrow. There's not a lot of sunshine. Saturday's bitterly cold, temperature in the teens. And then we're talking Sunday back in the 20s, maybe a little bit of sunshine. Chris is like, hey, don't forget, it's winter. Let it snow. Let it snow, people. Don't be so grumpy. Move south. Actually, Chris didn't say all that. I was just interpolating. Extemporaneous, right? Is that what they call it? And Courtney's specifying where she says there will be no school. She's assuming, but she might very well be right, and that's down in Breckenridge County, for those that don't know the slang. Campbellsville checking in with Linda. Hello. Mount Washington's here. There's Chris. 80s, low humidity, peak weather. See, now we're just dreaming. Everybody is hallucinating now. It's the problem. That's what I like about you all. I feel right at home. It's like we've all gotten nuts because we've been boxed in. And in my case, it hasn't been home, it's been work, but it's the same result. Oh, here's Mandy, a good friend. 50 days until spring. There's something to look forward to. And less than 100 until the Derby. Might we add that? This was back to shoveling out. The husband's already come back in and said, "What's Kevin saying about Bardstown?" And I told him he didn't want to know. Exactly. I'm surprised you're all not. Listen, I was keeping up. My brother's a magistrate down in Bardstown. And I was on the phone with him earlier, and I said, "What is going on down there? Why are the roads in such terrible shape?" People have been complaining, and because I guess they think that the TV station solves everybody's problems, and they do solve a lot of problems, but not necessarily the weather department. But we take the calls too, and the fact is, a lot of the state roads were just a mess. And they were saying, well, it was a historic storm. We asked them for, like, what happened? And they were like, unprecedented. And I'm like, well, no, not really. I mean, we had sleet, we had snow. It wasn't, we weren't buried. It wasn't unprecedented. It was like maybe there was a delay in getting to it. And by the time it got tracked over, it was too compact to get up. That could have been the problem. Other counties didn't seem to have the issue. I'm curious what happened. And I suspect that a lot of people are curious what happened. So hopefully you get some answers on why the roads were, and in some cases still are, such a mess. Maybe there's just not enough manpower to get to all the roads. But you'd think the main roads that the state covers would have a little relief. The groundhog. Oh, bad news for Monday, folks. Punxsutawney is snowed in. We'll see how that is. Wouldn't that be something? Lori's in New Albany checking in. Orleans, Indiana, up in Orange County. Had no school for a whole week. Bodies were out from shoveling the driveways and the walkways. Yeah, feel you there. All right. Annette's just like, hey, it's winter. We have to take what we can get. Snow sometimes. There's nothing we can do about it. Mother Nature is the boss. Snowed in Loretta by Maker's Mark. Hello, Loretta. That's where my mother's family is from. You might be kinfolk to me. Annette Newton. I don't know any Newtons that I'm related to, but could be. My mom's the oldest of the Brahm family. A lot of them down there. The oldest of 13. That's right. Hello, Catholics, right? Now, see, some of these I get behind, and then I'm like, well, I don't remember what we're talking about. So, like Laura's saying, tell him to stay in his home. She's probably talking about Brian Good. That's a joke. That's a joke. Come on. I'm going to go through the Super Bowl forecasts here in a few minutes. Too much on the side roads. Yeah, I know some of the side roads are a mess. But at some point, you got to be like, well, this is going to be like this for weeks and weeks and weeks. When do you go back? I don't know. I'd say probably going to have to figure it out. Oh, I know. Don't you hate this? The dog's out because they are little and they get buried. My dog doesn't even want to step out in the snow. Hates the snow, hates the ice, rather just do it in the house. And I'm like, it's not a good idea. So we're working on it. It's a slow process, real slow. Because I'm like, well, I don't really want to go out either. But then I'm like, but I don't want to clean that up. So it's a little push and pull. Lori's asking, do you think February 21st will be in the 40s and 50s by then? I have a polar plunge event to go watch at Dean Lake on the 21st. It's a little far out to say. I mean, that's like, what, a whole month away almost. So don't really know. The odds are up there that we'd be closer to the 40s. I don't know about the 50s. Haven't seen any long-range indication that we're actually going to warm it up back above normal. All right. Just scrolling through the final comments here as we roll down, and then I'll go back through the forecast here in just a second. Let's see. I want to move north, not south, so I can at least get plowed roads when it snows. Yeah. Indiana's got it down, especially the northern part of the state, Illinois, up around Chicago, Michigan. I mean, and I guess they invest a lot more money into probably treatment because they know how to do it. It's just when it's second nature, just comes secondhand. It's it's like, oh wow, well these roads are clear, and it snowed 2 feet. We get like 3 inches. Like, I can't get anywhere for 3 weeks. All right, let's see. I'm just rolling through some of your comments here. The road is still covered, and I'm not even far back in the subdivision. Yeah, a lot of the subdivisions are rough. Oh, here's my buddy Chris. Hey, Kev, great job as usual. Thank you. Come see the Monarchs. Yeah, Chris is in the Monarchs. What a beautiful sound they provide wherever you hear them. If you've been around Louisville any length of time, you've heard of the Monarchs. Chris is on their keyboard. I was calling out the Catholic families because I obviously am Catholic and grew up in a huge family, so I get it. Yeah, I've done this before. I did not this time, so I was out there kind of creating a place, but inevitably I could clear all the yard besides one little patch, and Obi is like, that's where I want to go, so that's not clear. I'm just gonna go inside. Oh, whatever. Amy is like, I'm still waiting for a big snow, like is what we've had. Like 17.1 inches is not big enough. You're talking about just that one-time crushing snow. Your hopes were dashed when we didn't get the foot of snow we thought we might get on this last one, right? I'm right, aren't I? I know. You weren't alone. I think a lot of people were like, oh, here it comes. This is going to be huge. This is going to be the biggest snow we've had in quite some time. Cannot wait. And then we got half of that people, which was a sizable snow. I mean, my house had over 7 inches of snow and sleet. I think the official total was like, what, 5.6? And then obviously much higher the farther north you go. And then once it got all snow, it was over a foot of snow. So that's what we were dealing with. I said it the other day. It was 25 miles and 1 or 2 degrees off. That's not all that big of a deal. But for people that were hoping and wanting that huge snow and we sliced it in half, they're like, this is nothing. We're snow warriors. We wanted more. All right, what's it? See, I've gone nuts. I'm just rambling. I'm going with Brenda. I keep going back and forth. Now I'm back to not even wanting winter. I was saying earlier, if it was going to be cold, it might as well snow. But now I'm just like, you know what? You see the comments. And it's like, I see how people get into the, the tunnel vision. You hear the same thing over and over. And now I'm saying, I hate winter, winter this, winter that. And I'm like, you know what? Yeah, me too. Indiana has the snow. Linda's like, come get it. You want more? Come on and get it. Caitlin, Greg says, tell Greg, shouldn't both you and Greg be working instead of watching the live stream? Maybe the news at 11 will not be nearly as good without your fine touches, but instead you're watching me ramble. Caitlin is the 11 p.m. producer. Greg is the executive producer. And they're probably like, Harned is off the hinges in there. We should probably end the live stream. Oh, yeah. I hope this too. Skip the severe weather season, please. Yeah, double please on that. Oh, there's nothing worse than diving right out of a bad winter. Oh, well, maybe I shouldn't call it bad. An active winter, and then head first right into severe weather season because it's like it just doesn't stop. It's like, oh my gosh, here we go. All right. Well, that's where we're at. All right, I tell you, I'm going to reset for the 10-day, and when I come back, I'll share with you the 10-day earliest alert. That forecast not looking so bad. We'll tackle what that shows, even though it's cold, coming up in just about a minute. So hang in there. We'll be right back. All right, welcome back in here to the stream. We've got you on the Wave Weather app, the Wave News app, all of our social platforms. That's Facebook, Twitch, Twitter, or X. What else? YouTube. We're on all of the streaming devices, the Fire Stick, the Roku, Apple TV. Pretty much find us anywhere. That's the great part. Beautiful skyline. You might see some of the roughness in the Ohio. Those are chunks of ice that we've had develop. Can you see that? Let me take it where you can see it even more. Tough to see at night, of course, but you can kind of get the idea. Nonetheless, winter is here. Let's talk 10-day forecast, shall we? I promised it, so we will deliver. We look at the whole 10-day. You can see the alert days back to back to back. And I'll just go through them. First of all, Friday, we have the alert day because of snow. It's a minor chance for folks that are just jumping into the stream, curious what's going to happen. We do have a little bit of light snow that's in the forecast for early tomorrow morning. This is mainly south of Louisville, south of Interstate 64. Shouldn't be a huge deal, but something that we're watching. All right. And I'll show you what the futurecast looks like on that. It's a very minor deal. Comes across southwest Indiana, drifts into Kentucky. I think if we were to see issues, Hardensburg, E-Town, maybe along the Bluegrass Parkway, Western Kentucky Parkway, those areas, just keep in mind, it doesn't take much at all to see the roads get slick in an instant, simply because they are so cold. So that's going to be the problem that we have to deal with. Temperatures are going to be in the teens, if not into the single digits for some of you early tomorrow morning. The totals are minor, a dusting up to an inch in the heaviest places, but maybe it's better to say just less than an inch. So a dusting just south of Louisville and less than an inch as you work your way farther to the south. So not a huge snowmaker for us, but could be an inconvenience for some. Saturday's alert day is because of the cold. Temperatures single digits Saturday morning. Wind chills on Saturday morning, yikes. Yeah, in the negative territory. We'll go about a -2 here in Louisville, -5 to -10 across southern Indiana. There are still a few snow showers that will linger coming in from the north on Saturday afternoon. These likewise would not produce a ton of snow. In fact, it would be very light, maybe a dusting. Same story, though. Temperature Saturday struggle. That's our high, 16. Eeh. Well, with that, we could still see some slick spots. Stays on the cloudy side. So perhaps a dusting. Won't rule that out. We get into Sunday. That's the warmer day of the weekend forecast. And it's the full moon. Yeah, bring it on. Full moon. Nice little moon music there. It's the full snow moon. Okay. As if we haven't said the word enough, we put it in the name of the full moon. Well, it's there. The full moon, by the way, is at its fullest at 5:09 afternoon. That's p.m. on Sunday. So Sunday night, nice full moon. We'll see if the clouds part so we can see it. All right, so that's a look at the full moon coming our way. Let me thumb through this, and then we get into next week. Hello, Punxsutawney Phil. Monday's Groundhog Day. You can see Pennsylvania. This is Monday morning, 8 o'clock. There are a few clouds, but not guaranteed clouds. So the clouds don't always matter to that little rodent. Sometimes it's clear sky and it's like, well, he should have seen a shadow, but nope, he doesn't. And other times it's like, well, it's cloudy. There's no way he can see a shadow, but no, he does. We all know the sort of story is that if Opunxsutawney Phil sees a shadow, it scares him back into his burrow for 6 more weeks of winter. If not, spring is right around the corner. So I have a feeling, I'm going to just take a guess. It's a 50-50 shot on this one. I bet he's back in the burrow. I bet we're in for 6 more weeks of winter. We'll see. We'll have to wait till Monday. Yank him out bright and early. Was it like 7 o'clock, 7:30? I should know the time. I watched it one time from Pennsylvania. For us, we have a cloudy sky, and we will have a few light snow showers drifting mainly to our north. It's why we lowered the chance. It's down to a 20% chance. Not a big deal for Monday, all right? And then let's get into Tuesday and Wednesday. Middle part of the week, temperatures come back down. We're still below average, 25. That's closer to a nighttime low. We cannot warm it up at all. We try. We get like a couple of degrees from freezing. It's like crash back down. Not yet, they say. We see a couple more little pinwheels coming around. These little pieces of energy will provide just enough lift with limited moisture to give us a few snow showers. Again, they don't look impressive in terms of totals, but they could cause some problems. And that's the reason we pointed out. We have not flagged those days as alert days yet because there's too much uncertainty. The models have not been consistent run to run, nor are they consistent model to model. So a lot of question marks line up for next week, though the temperatures look solidly below average. Friday would be our only hope of getting above the freezing mark, excuse me, at 34 degrees. That's still not really what you want to see because that's, easy to stay in the 20s or low 30s below 32. Regardless, if there is hope, Friday holds the best chance for that at this point. Now, I meant to click on Sunday. This is all right, for those that may be watching the game, Super Bowl Sunday, February 8th, you'll watch it on NBC and Wave. And by the way, we've got the Olympics starting on Friday, then not this Friday, not tomorrow, but next week. And then Super Bowl is the following Sunday, the next 2 days. So what a busy weekend. 32 for our high. That's what it's going to be like in Louisville. But Santa Clara comes in with a 20% chance of a shower and a temperature of 67. I stumbled there because I heard Wavy chiming in with a little snow being reported in Crestwood. So I'll pop the radar back up for you in a second here, just to point out that confirms that we're starting to see some of that reach the ground, and that's the part that matters. If it's reaching the ground, we could have a few issues that would develop, mainly because of the cold ground. Now, those are just flurries at this point. I'll put the more sensitive radar on. There you go. But nonetheless, if it were to stay here for any length of time, if we pick up that light coating or dusting of snow, slick conditions. That's the reason for the alert day. It's why you see the red. It's why we're on in the evening saying, hey, pay attention. Kevin said we could have a few slick spots late tonight, early tomorrow. Kevin said Saturday was going to be very cold, single digits, wind chills below 0. Those are alert days. That's the whole point. All right, I'll take a few more questions and then I'll bounce off of here. It's 9:30. What about Henry County, Kevin Harned? Well, same story. You're actually in a lesser place for any snow tonight, but you could see a few flurries. And with that, could be an isolated slick spot. Side roads are still slick. Certainly looks cold. So not much difference. I think the better chance for that snow is going to be well to our south. So if you're looking for a snow map across the area to say, well, where are we going to see snow for tonight into early Friday, you can see how we've mapped that out. And Henry County is north of the area where we have shaded in. All right. I'm just looking back at some of your comments. I'm scrolling up. Yeah, Marcia's like, yuck. Doesn't like any part of it. Anthony's like, kids have school next week. I don't know if you're hopeful for that or if you're certain of that, but good luck either way. I know there were some parents in the building here like, oh my God, if the kids don't go back to school, I am going to pull my hair out. And I was like, well, I hear what you're saying. Come on, warmer temperatures and heavy rainfall to wash this mess away. Grayson County has 6 inches of ice from the Arctic air and lots of snow. Yeah, I know. It is a mess, isn't it? Like, I think I need to get my car cleaned up, but it's like, why? I know. All right, I'm thumbing through. There's Laura. Kevin's calling it. I've got my phone here in case I need to make a call, just in case. Who shall we call? Yeah, here were some of those impressive totals. 13 inches of snow in Orleans, Indiana. I know. Yeah, skipping severe weather season. I'm with you. I think everybody's been looking at the long range models, February 13th through the 16th. That's where it could be bad, Caitlin. Just stay tuned. You got a whole, you work in a whole building of scientists. We're here for you. All right. Well, listen, it's 9:35. I'm going to jump off, look over everything so we can update things for the 11 o'clock news. Appreciate everybody jumping on tonight. May jump back on tomorrow. Obviously, it's going to be cold Saturday. We'll see how we fare with any snow showers this evening or tomorrow morning. Be careful if you have to be out. We appreciate everybody hopping on and just kind of sort of rolling through it with us. Sometimes it makes it easier when we can just, jump on and chat a little bit and see what's happening. All in all, it's just a little bit of winter weather. This is not a major winter storm. As long as we're all careful and haven't gone totally stir crazy, we'll be all right. So we'll see you back on here. Tomorrow Brian will be on in the morning, and then we might jump back on tomorrow evening, talking about the cold for the weekend. We'll give you an update. Have a good night, everybody, and I'll see you on Wave News at 11 o'clock. Take care.